Hello everyone, I am Shruti Vijayvargiya from BISP Solution. In Excel financial functions, there comes a category of asset depreciation function. So in this video, I am talking about the asset depreciation function. There are 7 functions in asset depreciation category. The first one is the AMORDEGRC, AMORLINC, DB, DDB, SLN, SID, and VDB. So in this video, I am going to explain the two most important depreciation function, which are AMORDEGRC and AMORLINC. So the first function is the AMORDEGRC. In accountancy, depreciation refers to the two aspects of the same concept, the decrease in value of assets and the allocation of the cost of assets to previous in which the assets are used. So this function is used for calculating depreciation using a depreciation coefficient. Different countries have different methods of calculating depreciation. Excel includes AMORDEGRC function for use with French accounting rules. So in this case, you can assign the depreciation coefficient based on the economic life of an asset. So this function does have the following argument. The first one is the cost, and this is the cost of an asset, and that is simply the cost because we are using French accounting rules. I have the currency denomination as euros. Then we have date purchase. This is the date when the asset is purchased. Then we have the first period. It is the date of the end of the first period. Next we have salvage value. It is the end of the life of an asset. Then we have the period, which denotes the number of period over which the depreciation is to be calculated. And then we have the rate is the rate of depreciation, assets rate of depreciation. And then we have basis. It refers how you count number of days and months in a year. So let's understand this function with the help of an example. I have an example of this AMORDEGRC function. Here is the data. The first is the cost, which is the cost of an asset, and it represented as euros. Then we have the date purchase, then we have first period, then we have salvage value is also an euro cost, then we have the period, then we have the depreciation rate, and then we have the basis, which is 4 and which denotes European day count basis. So the depreciation will be calculated with this function like this. Just select the cell, type an equal sign, select the function, and pass the differences of all arguments. The first one is the cost, then putting comma, date purchase, and comma, first period, comma, salvage value, comma, period, comma, rate, comma, and basis. Then put the right parenthesis. If all things are correct, then the function will calculate the value. So this value is 42 euro. When you calculate depreciation, be sure you know which set of rules you are using. If you operation under the French system, you will probably find the AMORDEGRC function to be useful. The next function for which I am talking about is the AMORLINC function. This function is used for calculating depreciation for each accounting period. Like the AMORDEGRC function, which lets you calculate depreciation using coefficients defined like the AMORDEGRC, which lets you calculate depreciation using coefficients defined under French accounting rules. The AMORLINC function lets you find the depreciation for a specific accounting period, and again this is a function that you will use within the French system. So to calculate depreciation for an accounting period, we need the following argument. First one is the cost, that's simply the amount that you have paid for the asset. The date you purchase it, so this is the date purchase. Next we have the first period. This is the date is the end of the first depreciation period. Then you have salvage value, which is the amount that you can sell the asset for after it's reached the end of its life. Then you have the period for which you are calculating depreciation, and that refers to a year. So we can take 1, 2, 3, 4, anything for the period value. Then the rate, this is the rate for using depreciation coefficient, like this is set under French accounting rules and something that you can look up. Then the final argument is the basis, and this is how you count the days in a month and in a year. So let's look around with the example. I have an example of AMORLINC function. This is the data I have. This is denotes the cost and it denotes in euro. And this is the date purchased of an asset. And this is the first period. And this is the salvage value and period of 9 years. And rate 10% and European count basis is used, so the basis will be 4. So how this function actually works? So just click on the cell, type an equal sign, select the name of the MORLINC function and pass the references of all the cell. First one is the cost, comma, date purchase, putting comma, first period, comma, salvage value, comma, period, comma, rate, comma, and basis. Okay, when I do, I see the depreciation. Now if I would change the period from 1 to 2, from this 9 to 2, so this is the value for 9 period. If I changes it from 1 and put enter, so this value is different from that value. So that's because we are approaching the salvage value and the depreciation coefficient operates differently in the calculation. So this is how these two functions work. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Thanks for watching.